Welcome back, Mountaineers. You're watching the A-Game. I'm Ashley Marion.
And I'm Shaheen Stafford, and we're here to keep you updated on anything and everything App State sports from this past week.
App State's women's soccer team is now ready to start their spring season and has released their schedule for 2021. The season will consist of 7 matches, starting with an away exhibition match against ETSU that was played this past week on February 9th. Following their match against ETSU, the Mountaineers will have 4 home games against Charlotte, Tennessee, Davidson, and Marshall before finishing their season on the road for their final 2 games at South Carolina and Wake Forest, ending their season on April 10th. App State will be playing against 3 Power 5 teams this season and will be led by head coach Sarah Strickland, assistant coaches Kelsey Wees and Mitch Williams, and senior assistant Taylor Ray. During their 2020 season, the Mountaineers went 5-9-1, scoring 10 goals and winning 2 out of their final 3 matches of the season, including a 2-1 overtime win against ULM during the first round of the Sun Belt Tournament, with the season having already started. The full 2021 women's soccer schedule, as well as the team's active roster, can be found at appstatesports.com.
Due to inclement weather, the season opener for the women's soccer team against UNC Charlotte has been postponed until further notice. The team will reschedule the match, but it is uncertain when due to the busy schedule for the team this year. App will be playing next week as the University of Tennessee will be traveling to Boone to play the team on Saturday at noon in the Ted McElroy Soccer Complex.
Due to a coronavirus outbreak on the Appalachian State men's basketball team, both games against the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers will be canceled this weekend and will not be rescheduled because of the limited time left in the regular season. The Mountaineer team has 4 confirmed cases of the virus, with 3 being student athletes. Those with the virus are currently self-isolating, while all those who were in close contact are quarantining and following COVID protocols. It is uncertain how the outbreak will affect the rest of the Mountaineer season, but App State has rescheduled their games against Georgia State, which has postponed last weekend, and will play 1 road games against the Panthers on Tuesday, February 23rd at 5 p.m. We will continue to update you as information continues to come out. For now, we hope for a speedy and safe recovery for everyone with the virus and peace of mind for everyone on the team.
With the cancellation of the men's basketball games between the Appalachian State Mountaineers and the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, the Nears Barstool Twitter account has entered an argument against the Barstool CCU Twitter account. Coastal Barstool account started the argument on Tuesday, February 9th, calling App State scared and pathetic wimps. App Barstool responded within an hour, bringing up the Sun Belt Football Championship between Coastal Carolina and Louisiana Lafayette, which was canceled due to a COVID-19 outbreak on Coastal football team. Both accounts got very personal and attacked more than just each other's school. Coastal original tweet received a lot of buzz, and most of the replies and quotes tweets disagree or poke fun at Coastal Carolina. The Barstool News account quoted the tweet to defend themselves from the slander and fire back shots at Coastal account. As the conflict continued, an unlikely ally backed Barstool News as Barstool Cajuns. The Louisiana Lafayette Barstool account also poked fun at Barstool's CCU. Barstool CCU never responded to Barstool News or Barstool Cajuns, and it seemed to be the end of the Twitter war. We will continue to update you if and when the story continues.
The women's basketball team traveled and hosted Coastal Carolina during a 2-game series that they played this week, winning their road game 72-58 and their home game 79-65. In their road game, Coastal scored the first basket with a layup right off the bat. App responded quickly with a 3-pointer by Priest Stanley for their first lead of the game. The first quarter stayed close between both teams as they traded off baskets, with neither team leading by more than 6 points throughout. At the end of the first 10 minutes of play, the score was tied at 14 apiece. The Mountaineers started off the second strong with 2 3-pointers by Lainey Gosnell and Michaela Porter to take the lead early on. App kept the lead in the second and went on a 15-4 run until the 4-minute mark against the Chanticleers, dominating the second quarter and giving App a 14-point lead. Coastal brought in some fresh players for the end of the quarter and was able to get a close gap a little and ending the first half down by 8. In the beginning of the second half, Coastal came out strong and scored twice in the first minute and a half to bring the game within 3 minutes before Lainey Gosnell drew a foul, and with 2 good free throws kick-started the Mountaineers' offense, leading them to score twice as many points as Coastal for the rest of the quarter and giving App a 53-40 lead before the final 10 minutes of play began. Coastal was ready for the fourth and held App scoreless for almost 2 minutes before Priest Stanley scored a layup in the paint for the Mountaineers, bringing their lead to 19 points with just over 6 minutes of play left. Coastal attempting to close the gap, but App stayed strong until the end and never let the gap close to less than 13 points for the rest of the game, giving App a 72-58 win. In their fourth win in a row, top scorers were Brooke Biggett with a career high of 23 points and tying the single-game school record for the most three-pointers made with 7 throughout the game. Priest Stanley with 17 points and a team-high plus 22. Janai Sanders with 11 points with a season-high 5 rebounds and 5 assists, and Lainey Gosnell with 11 points and 5 off the glass.
In their home game, App started strong and scored the first 6 points of the game. Coastal didn't roll over and tied the game with the Mountaineers. Coastal took their only lead of the game in the first, leading by 1 with 3 minutes left before the Mountaineers took control of the game again to go on an 8-2 run to finish the quarter 17-12. In the second, App continued to dominate as they continued to score, bringing their lead to double digits. Coastal did their best to close the gap, but were never able to come within 8 points to get App a 40-28 lead going into the second half. The third quarter was a repeat of the second as App stayed strong and held their lead throughout by going point for point with the Chanticleers and never letting Coastal catch up. The third ended with a 3-pointer by Tierra Wilson with 5 seconds left on the clock to get App a 12-point lead with only 1 more quarter to play. The Mountaineers were determined to play hard until the end and did not let Coastal score for over 2 minutes of play. The App continued to extend their lead, bringing it to as high as 20 points. In the end, Coastal could not catch up, and App finished the game 79-65. The Mountaineers had a season-high scoring game with 4 players scoring double digits. Lainey Gosnell had a team-high 16 points from 5 baskets. Tierra Wilson came off the bench to score 15 points off of 5 three-pointers, and Michaela Porter and Priest Stanley both finished the game with 14 points. With 2 wins against Coastal, App is now 10-10 overall. The team will be in action again next week in a 2-game series against South Alabama.
For the third week in a row, the App State's women's track and field team traveled to Lynchburg, Virginia, this time to compete in the Darius Dixon Memorial Invitational, hosted by Liberty University. The meet did not give out team scores, but the Mountaineers still placed in multiple events. In the 60-meter dash, Labria King qualified for the finals after an 8th-place finisher in the qualifier, finishing in the finals at 5th after a 7.7-second run. Angelia DeBlasi finished 5th in the 1,000-meter run with a time of 3:11, and Jasmine Donahue placed 6th in the 1-mile run, breaking her personal record with a new time of 5:12. 2 App State runners finished in the top 10 of the 200-meter dash, with Jessica Dixon finishing 7th with a time of 25.21 seconds, and Samara Gibson coming in 9th at 25.3 seconds. App recorded an 8th-place finish in the 5,000-meter run with Sarah Sandreuter coming in 18 minutes 6 seconds, and in the long jump with Tyler Smith finishing a mark with 5.7 meters. The 4x400-meter relay team of Ani Judd, Jessica Dixon, Jasmine Donahue, and Samara Gibson crossed 8th in 4 minutes and 7 seconds, and Izzy Evely and Kylie Frady finished the 3,000-meter dash in 8th and 10th respectively with times of 10 minutes 7 seconds and 10 minutes 19 seconds. The Mountaineers will start training for their Sunbelt Championships, which will be held in Birmingham, Alabama on February 22nd and February 23rd.
The women's tennis team played 2 matches this weekend, scoring their first win against Western Carolina on Saturday and falling to number 11 Duke on Sunday. In their Saturday match, the Mountaineers beat the Catamounts 6-1, winning the point for the best of 3 double matches and 5 out of 6 of the single matches. In their double matches, all 3 pairs won their sets with both the Mariah Zacharias, Theodora Savo pair and the Sandra Angleso Castilla Alessina pair winning 6-1. The Virginia Poggi Helena Figueroa pair won their set 6-2 and gave App their first point of the season. In singles, Angleso, Poggi, Savo, and Helena all swept their opponents 2-0, not giving Western a single point. Alexina played all 3 sets and won 2-1 for the Mountaineers' 5th point. The only loss of the day came in singles one when Zakharovs lost in a close 3-set game against Western Bodiak Kata. This was our first win of the season after their loss to number 12 NC State 2 weeks prior. In their Sunday match, the Mountaineers played against number 11 Duke, losing to the Blue Devils 7-0. App played well but was unable to take a single set from Duke, leading to their second shutout loss of the season. The Mountaineers are now 1-2 on the season and will play against number 1 UNC next week in Chapel Hill on Tuesday. The Tar Heels will be App's third match against a ranked ACC team in just 4 matches.
For their season opener this weekend, the Mountaineers softball team traveled down the mountain to play UNC Charlotte with App losing 3-4. The Mountaineers started off strong. As their first at-bat, Carrie White hit a lead-off the double to left field and was quickly rounded to bases after a homer to left field by Bailey Morton to give App an early 2-0 lead. The score stayed the same until the top of the 5th inning when App extended their lead with Carrie White getting back on base, scoring her first run after Kate Houston brought her back home before the end of the inning. In the bottom of the 5th, the 49ers scored their first run after App gave up their first hit of the game and a walk to Charlotte's batters. In the bottom of the 7th, App brought in a relief for pitchers after their starter gave up a walk and a hit, putting one of the Charlotte's runners in scoring position. After giving up another walk and a single, Charlotte was able to tie the game at 3 apiece. In their final at-bat, App had 3 flyouts and was unable to score. The 49ers scored the winning run in the 8th after throwing an error by App. The Mountaineers' starting pitcher for the weekend was Kenzie Longenecker, who pitched for 6 full innings, did not give up a hit until the 5th, and struck out 6 batters. She was relieved in the 7th by senior pitcher Sydney Holland, who pitched for the last 2 innings. The Mountaineers will be traveling to UNC Greensboro this weekend to play the Spartans in a 3-game series starting off Saturday.
With the regular season having ended last weekend for App State Wrestling, 5 Mountaineer wrestlers have been ranked in the top 33 within their weight classes in the Division I coaches rankings. In the 125-pound weight class, Cody Russell was ranked number 17. In the 149-pound weight class, Jonathan Milner is at 14. In the 157-pound weight class, Cody Bond is number 30. In the 165-pound weight class is Will Formato at number 16. In the 174-pound weight class is Thomas Flitz at 13. Each of the 5 student athletes have won 10 or more matches, only lost a combined total of 9 matches between the 5 of them, and scored 174 of the Mountaineers' 288 points won during the 2021 regular season. The rankings are created by a panel of 14 coaches with 2 coaches from each conference getting a vote, and are used to help determine the at-large berth within the NCAA championship. For the championship this year, each weight class only has 1 or 2 SoCon automatic elements with more wrestlers than automatic spots. Placements into the NCAA championship will be determined by at-large berth that will take place during the SoCon championship tournament in late February. The NCAA championship will be held from March 18th through the 20th in St. Louis, Missouri.
Be sure to support your Mountaineer ice hockey team as their online store has reopened and will be selling merchandise and apparel until midnight on February 25th. A link to the online shop can be found on the team's Twitter page at App State Hockey. All funds raised will go right back into the program to help support the team and pay for practices and practice space throughout the semester. The store has a variety of different products ranging from hoodies, jackets, and jerseys to polos, tees, and shirts and training shorts. New products are being featured this semester like the Thunderbird Sublimation t-shirt and the T-Citation Sublimation t-shirt and the Sublimation tank top in both black and silver. Most items can be personalized with the customer's lucky number, and certain products are able to be personalized further, letting customers put their name on the back of the item. All apparel personalized with names will be written in all capital letters, and all customers are encouraged to double-check their spelling before placing their order. The store has different designs, colors, sizes for each product, so make sure to check it out before sales end.
The App State men's golf team has now started preparing for their 2021 season and has released their spring schedule. App State will participate in 6 spring events throughout the season. One of the events will be hosted by Appalachian in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, for the Bash at the Beach Golf Tournament. The Mountaineers will start their season by teeing off on March 4th through the 6th at the Sea Palms Invitational in St. Simons Island, Georgia, hosted by Western Carolina University, and will end their regular season with the Mountaineers Invitational hosted by West Virginia on April 12th and 13th. App will round out the season with the Sun Belt Championship Tournament in El Dorado, Arkansas, that will be taking place from April 25th to the 28th at the Mystic Creek Golf Club. Throughout the season, the Mountaineers will play in invitational intercollegiates and bashes hosted by teams like Western, ECU, UNC Charlotte, and West Virginia. Head coach Jason Allison will be leading the Mountaineers for his first season as the full-time head coach after becoming the interim coach during the 2020 season. Entering the 2021 spring season, App State is currently ranked 39th in GolfStats collegiate rankings, and 4 out of 5 of their starters are returning from last season, including Jake Lane, Timotheus Trito Tomati, who hold the program's 2 lowest single averages in school history. Last season, the team were in the top 3 in 4 out of 7 of their tournaments and were in the top 10 in all of them. The season has been shortened due to COVID-19, but the team will still be giving their all at each and every event that they play, so make sure to support them until the end.
With the seasons closing in for the marching band, Jason Gardner's APS marching band director has announced the 2021 season's drum majors and color guard captains. The drum majors leading in North Carolina's Band of Distinction in 2021 will be senior music education major Topher Kane and junior music education major Sean Andrade and Lindsey Hinkle. This will be Topher Kane's second year as a drum major for the Mountaineers and his 4th year in the organization with 2 years on the field marching with the saxophone. Sean Andrade will be starting his 3rd year with the marching band and his first as drum major. He was on the field for 2 years marching the mellophone, with 1 year experience as the section's music leader. Lindsey Hinkle will also be starting her 3rd year with the Marching Mountaineers and her first as drum major, with 2 years prior experience on the field as clarinet and 1 year as the section's visual leader. The marching band's color guard will be led by senior special education major Catherine Edwards, junior elementary education major Katie Rubacki, and junior music therapy major Carly Todd. This will be Catherine Edwards' 4th year in the organization and her 2nd as a captain. Katie Rubacki and Carly Todd will both be marching for their 3rd season next year and will both be starting their 1st year as a captain. The marching band will be led by Associate Director of Bands Jason Gardner and will be performing at every home football game during the 2021 season. That's all we have for you this week, sports fans. I'm Ashley Marion.
And I'm Shaheem Stafford. Tune in next week to stay up to date on all things Appalachian State sports.